Hey guys, welcome back to Sign Ranks. Today, we're diving into The Black Phone 2, one of the most chilling and highly anticipated horror sequels of 2025. This American supernatural thriller picks up right where the 2021 original left off, cranking the terror into full-on ghostly nightmare territory as the past refuses to stay buried. Alright, no more delays, major spoilers ahead, so let's pick up the receiver and step back into the nightmare. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to join our movie-loving crew. The movie kicks off in 1957 at Alpine Lake, a youth camp in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. We see a young counselor named Hope Adler dialing a landline phone. She's talking to someone on the other end, freaking out about these vivid dreams she's been having. In her dreams, she saw a number scratched into the ice on a frozen lake by some boys, and that's the exact number she just dialed. She's desperate to know who she's talking to, but the person won't say a word. Suddenly, a loud screech blasts through the line, it disconnects, and Hope is left terrified. We'll circle back to what really happened here later. Fast forward to 1982, 4 years after the events of the first film. We're back in school with Finn, now 17, who's changed big time. He's beating the crap out of a new kid who mocked him, saying he didn't really kill a serial killer. Gwen, his 15-year-old sister, pulls him off and drags him away. She asks why he went so hard on the guy, and Finn explains, but Gwen says violence isn't always the answer. Thing is, Finn's become aggressive and short-tempered, he's basically turning into the grabber. Deep down, it's all trauma and fear he's burying under anger. Meanwhile, Ernesto, Robin's brother from the first movie, asks Gwen out to a show. She says yes, and Finn teases her about it being a date. She denies it at first but then admits it is. They head home to their dad, Terrence, who's sober now, supportive, and caring, total 180 from the abusive alcoholic in the original. After goodnights, Finn smokes weed outside and hallucinates the grabber in his iconic mask, threatening him. Gwen comes out, doesn't see anything, and offers to talk about his PTSD, but he shuts her down. That night, Gwen has a dream, just like in the first movie, thanks to the psychic shine she inherited from her mom. But this one's different. She's at the abandoned Alpine Lake camp. She sees a kid in a yellow jacket being chased and brutally murdered. The boy's ghost scratches a W into the frozen lake ice before sinking below. Gwen hears a phone ringing nearby and starts sleepwalking toward it, her body's cold and moving on its own, like astral projection. Finn wakes up, stops her, and puts her back to bed. She mentions the dream, but he brushes it off. Next day at school, Gwen's hanging out when Ernesto comes over to chat. She's deep into a book about supernatural stuff. He asks if she's into all that ghosts, alternate dimensions, the whole paranormal deal. She says yeah, totally fascinated by it all. Ernesto hands her some show tickets, making her super happy. Then he gives her loteria cards, Mexican lottery cards that work like tarot. Gwen even says they're just like tarot cards, use them right, and they can reveal things, even predict the future. Ernesto points out that Gwen sees stuff in her dreams too. She asks how he knows all this. He explains his parents told him, back during the Robin case, Gwen shared her dream visions with the cops, helping them track the killer. But we know Finn took him out first. Anyway, Gwen hates talking about it, makes her seem weird to everyone. Ernesto flirts hard, weird is exactly my type. Meanwhile, in the market, Finn spots a busted payphone ringing. He picks up without listening and snaps, "Sorry, no help here." These calls aren't new to him, but he's desperate to escape the horror that's traumatized him. That night, Gwen dreams again, same camp, another boy gets grabbed, hacked to pieces, and burned. His spirit scratches a B on the frozen lake ice before sinking. Suddenly, a ring in the dream wakes her. Her spirit pulls her out, she sleepwalks from the house. Outside, she finds the chopped up, burned body, and the grabber's old apartment ahead. She ends up in his basement, answering the ringing phone. It's Hope Adler calling, the exact 1957 call from the movie's start. Hope is Gwen's mom, long gone in present time. On the phone, Mom says she's calling from Alpine Lake Youth Camp. The boys scratched this number on the frozen lake in her dreams, meaning their home number. Gwen says she sees the same boys, but letters instead of numbers. Before more talk, a satanic voice disconnects the line. Timelines are merging astral projection bends time. Then Max's spirit appears, Grabber's brother, killed by him last movie, warning she shouldn't be here. He's furious. As I mentioned, whenever Gwen astral projects into the dream world, her real body moves too. By now, it's in the Grabber's basement. Finn arrives, having followed her. She says she just talked to Mom, but he ignores it again. Finn drags her home. On the way, Gwen notices blood and dirt on her socks from seeing the burned body outside in the dream world. Clear sign, whatever happens there reflects in reality. Next day, Gwen shows Finn a poster for Alpine Lake Camp. It's real, her dreams weren't random. It's a Christian camp with CIT, counselor in training, openings, they should go. Finn tries ignoring again, but Dad Terrence shows up, sees the poster. That's where Mom Hope worked, closed in 1958. How's it reopened? Both kids were shocked. Gwen's set on going with Ernesto. Finn wasn't, but for her safety, he agrees. Before leaving, he tells Dad they'll be back in weeks. Don't drink heavy. The trio heads to Alpine Lake. Blizzard hits hard, crashed cars, bad roads, zero visibility, deep ravines. Finn runs ahead to guide, others follow. Soon, a girl named Mustang finds them, sent to fetch M, and leads to camp. Supervisor Armando meets them. Storm kept everyone else away, just these three. We learn Armando's there, Mustang's his niece, plus staff Kenneth and Barbara. Mustang shows them rooms. Finn spots an outdoor phone booth. He and Gwen rest, she sleeps, he smokes outside. Meanwhile, Gwen dreams, third boy, face sliced in half, spirit scratches H on ice. Together, WBH, no one gets it yet. Weird noise, all three boys' spirits approach. In real world, booth phone rings. Finn answers, no help here, walks off. Rings again, he ignores, but it persists till he picks up. Finally, Grabber's voice, hell isn't fire, it's ice. Ice burns just like fire, or worse. Finn terrifies. Clear, not Grabber himself, his ghost. Gwen's hunted by the boy's spirits in spirit world. Third boy tries entering window. Killer shatters glass, halves his face, Gwen screams in terror. Finn gets trapped in booth briefly, then it opens. He rushes to Gwen, she's sobbing hard, feeling insane. He calms, just a bad dream. Takes her to boy's cottage, bathroom, she sees real wounds from dream grab. As explained, spirit world events hit her physical body exactly. She joins Ernesto, he tucks her in. She prays, no dreams tonight. He loves her talking to God upstairs, his mom's super religious, thrilled he's dating one. Gwen says Mom was deeply religious, Dad wasn't, stopped her church going. She had dreams too, Gwen inherited the ability. Dreams drove her crazy, Gwen fears the same. Says Mom was stunning, always remembers her face. Ernesto comforts her, and they grow close, nearly sharing a kiss, but Finn, in the same room, interrupts, saying it's right in front of him and to at least not do that. The next morning, the trio discusses things. Finn discovers that Gwen has told Ernesto about her dreams, which angers him greatly, as he believes she cannot share that with anyone. She counters that he never listens to her about the dreams, so she has to tell someone. He responds that he tells no one himself. She retorts that he has no friends and is always running from reality. During the conversation, Gwen shows the wound on her hand, explaining that it came from a boy grabbing her in last night's dream and that it is real. Armando arrives to take them to breakfast and mentions that the storm should clear in 2 to 3 days. He asks why they are there, noting that they are not previous campers and not on the church list, meaning they did not receive the poster but actively sought it out. Finn explains that they came to learn about their mother. They show him Hope's photo, and Armando immediately recognizes her as Starlight. Finn and Gwen reveal that their mother died 7 years ago by suicide. Armando excuses himself for work, but Finn asks about the outdoor phone booth. In a shocking revelation, Armando says it has been broken for years and the phone is completely dead. Finn's mind starts racing, wondering how it could have rung. Finn shares with Gwen and Ernesto that the phone rang at night and he heard the grabber's voice. The phone rings again, and when Finn answers, the 3 murdered boys beg for help, saying they are trapped. When he asks where they are, they say it is unknown, just dark and cold, exactly like in part 1. An interesting detail is that in part 1, the grabber told Finn he heard the ringing too and thought he was going mad, but since Finn heard it as well, the phone really did ring. I believe their mother Hope was the one making it happen, indirectly trying to help, but it backfired. This is a sad detail that perfectly justifies the ringing from part 1. The boys' spirits are visible outside the booth, though Finn cannot see them. He asks what happened to them and says he will help if they tell him. They have no memory, say they should not be there, and just want to help Finn. It is the same as in part 1 where the ghost kids forgot who they were. Here, they simply want to assist Finn. Anyway, Finn freaks out, starts banging on the booth, and storms off annoyed. Meanwhile, Gwen and Ernesto go to Kenneth and Barbara, who work in the office, and ask for documents on the camp's history. Barbara says none exist. She snaps at Gwen, leading to an argument, and Ernesto pulls her away. That night, Gwen dreams again and sees her mother Hope on the phone with a dead boy's spirit, just like Finn does now. The boys had left the grabber's house number for help, hinting at who the killer was. Moving forward, Gwen sees Hope and the three spirits, then goes outside where she witnesses the full murders, leaving her even more disturbed. Finn hears the ring, answers, and the grabber taunts him, saying Finney killed him and asking if he thought it was over. He is back for revenge and will give unforgettable pain. He says Finn forced him to kill his beloved brother Max and now he will steal everything from Finn. There is a cool shot showing split worlds, with real Finn on the left and Spirit Grabber on the right. Gwen follows one of the boys to the kitchen where chaos erupts. The stove auto-ignites, and the grabber appears. He swings an axe at her, and she dodges. Ernesto and the others hear her screams and rush in. The grabber is invisible, but his movements are visible, such as when he slams Gwen against the wall. Physically, she is battered, wounds appear, and everyone witnesses the real-life horror. The grabber grabs her to throw her into the fire, but Mustang and Ernesto pull her back. Objects fall on the others. Finn arrives, wakes her up, and the grabber disappears for now. Armando takes everyone to the church. He asks Gwen what is happening, and she explains her dreams in detail and how the power came from her mother. She describes the boys, and Armando is shocked because they were real victims from 1957. The burned jacket detail was known only to the police and him. The bodies were never found, just that jacket exactly as Gwen described. Their names were Felix, Kale, and Spike, the grabber's first three victims. Armando shows photos from the 1957 and 1958 camps, including himself, Hope, and the maintenance guy. The camp closed in 1958, and he bought it and reopened it to find the lost boys and give their families closure. He has tried every year. Finn asks about the grabber in front of everyone. Armando says everyone knows the child kidnapper and killer that Finn ended, and he now recognizes Finn. Finn asks when the weird stuff started, and Armando says years ago. Finn specifies 1978, when he killed him, and now his spirit is free. They need to free the boys to maybe stop the grabber's ghost because the boy's fear is what powers him. Gwen and Finn recheck the group photo and spot the grabber. Armando says he was the maintenance guy, and his real name was Wild Bill Hickok. Gwen realizes that is what the boys meant. This is the origin, these murders started everything. They were the grabber's first victims, and the killing spree began here. Hope had the same dreams, and the boys gave her the grabber's house number. Now the boys explain to Gwen that WBH was the grabber's name. Finn says first they need to find the bodies in the frozen lake. Armando mentions nearby Lake Maru, and everyone is ready. Later, Armando is in his cabin checking the boys' photos and reports when he hears radio disturbance. There is noise outside, and through the window, he sees a snowman. He ignores it and continues working, but the radio picks up the grabber's voice. Armando fearlessly says he knows it is Bill, he is not scared, and he cannot trap the boys' souls forever because the truth is out. The grabber says he is not Bill. Armando replies that whether Bill, grabber, or evil, evil is evil. The snowman crashes through the window, which the grabber is controlling, with bloody snow. The grabber says he wants to hurt him, but Armando says he is not afraid and repeats that he is not Bill. As you know, the grabber was nothing without his mask, he hid behind it and never accepted being Bill, seeing himself as the devil. A bit later, Finn is sitting outside, and Armando joins him. He tells Finn that his rage is visible but hides fear, the fear that he cannot save Gwen. He advises him to face his feelings and assures him that Gwen and Finn will be safe. The next day, Armando starts the body search. That night, Gwen sleeps while Ernesto and Finn take turns watching her. Ernesto asks Finn if he really talked to his brother and what he said. Finn confirms yes and quotes him saying Dad could not leave his men in the war and did not return, so he will not abandon Finn either. Ernesto says that is true and he is proud of his brother. He falls asleep and continues watching Gwen. Gwen dreams and sees her mother, her body rises, but Ernesto stops it. Her spirit follows Hope in the dream. The truth emerges. Hope wakes from a dream about the first missing boy, Billy the paperboy, and leaves the house. Gwen follows to the grabber's house and sees Hope kidnapped because she spotted a cat inside. The grabber forces her into the car. From the start, Hope got hints. The victims showed numbers that led to the basement, the grabber's place. Shockingly, Gwen sees her mother hanged and dead. The reality is that the grabber killed her, not suicide. She knew his secret, so he murdered her. Gwen is devastated. She always thought the dreams drove her to suicide, but that was wrong. The grabber tells Gwen this is his hell where his rules apply, and he will kill her here too. Gwen runs and gets injured, which shows on her real body. Death in the dream means death in real life. Ernesto wakes Finn and Mustang, and they try to wake Gwen. By then, she is in the basement, and the boy's spirits guide her escape via the phone. She hides in the pit Finn dug in 1978 near the refrigerator spot. She exits to the lake where the booth is ringing and answers it. In real time at the lake, Armando is searching and finds a boy's body, trying to pull it out. On the phone, the grabber tells Gwen that anyone trying to steal his powers will be removed. His powers come from the trapped boy's fear, so he cannot let the bodies out. He breaks the ice and drops Armando in. His actions in that world affect the real one. Gwen's spirit is distressed, and he starts beating her too. Mustang, Ernesto, and Finn urge her to wake up and fight. In the spirit world booth, Gwen calms herself, meditates, and with a sudden jolt, the entire booth shatters, flinging the grabber back. Gwen tells him he did not bring her, she came herself. She has powers too and is not just weak. She can leave any time and will soon face him. She bashes his head hard, leaving him unconscious, and wakes herself up, having kind of mastered her powers. Upon waking, she leads everyone to Armando and they pull him from the water. The grabber tried drowning him, but Gwen overpowered and stopped him. He is safe and alive and announces he found Felix's body. The next morning, Mustang goes to Barbara and Kenneth, saying they are not helping and God would not like it. Barbara hates Gwen, but Gwen saved Armando yesterday, so at least they can help fix this. The following morning before sunrise, Gwen and Finn are ready, but their dad Terrence arrives to take them home. Finn agrees to leave, but Gwen refuses, saying it must end here, it started here, so it ends here. Finn tells her to come because he is scared, but she argues. Gwen says he just fears and smokes to pretend the basement events were fake. He cries and admits his fear, exactly as Armando pointed out. Dad tells them to come, but Gwen refuses. He says it is the dreams again that drove Mom crazy to suicide. Gwen counters that no, the grabber did it. Terrence has blamed himself for Hope's death and lived with guilt ever since, but it was never his fault, he should let it go. The exact words Terrence said at Hope's body are what Gwen quotes now, serving as proof. He finally believes her, he had no fault, Gwen is truthful, and Hope's and Gwen's dreams were always real. The morning search begins, but Kale's and Spike's bodies are not found. Meanwhile, Gwen prays to Jesus for help, saying the grabber will kill her this time, so do not let it happen and let no one die. Night falls slowly, and Gwen, exhausted, accidentally falls asleep and returns to the dreams. In the lake, she finds two drums hiding Kale's and Spike's bodies and starts pushing them out. The grabber arrives and attacks everyone outside. He removes half his mask, revealing rotted skin fused to it. He ice skates well for easy attacks and brutally beats Barbara and Kenneth. He turns to Finn, saying it is his turn, last time Finn won, but now he will because he is a spirit. Gwen's spirit pushes the drums up, and Terrence pulls them from the water. A cool detail is that when her spirit enters the lake, her real body becomes fully soaked, whatever happens there shows in the real world. Gwen's spirit exits, and Finn pushes the grabber away, feeling the throat grab and shoving by guess against the invisible force. In the spirit world, the grabber tells Gwen there is no God and no one will help her. She says she brought friends, and finally Kale, Felix, and Spike's spirits arrive. Gwen announces the bodies are found, leaving him powerless. She axes his mask off, taking Faye's skin with it, causing him agony. Finn arrives and bashes his head on the frozen lake, declaring he is not afraid anymore. They try to freeze him in the lake, but his ankle is grabbed by a boy spirit or body. Gwen's spirit severs the grabber's leg, chunking his spirit too. The siblings toss him into the lake. Finn does it by feel in the real world, Gwen in the spirit world, pure teamwork. With that, Felix, Kale, and Spike's spirits drown and freeze him inside. The grabber is frozen but takes his mask with him because he cannot live without it. Finally, Gwen wakes up, kisses Ernesto in joy and love, knowing everything is good. The next day, Armando informs the authorities about the bodies. As the others prepare to leave, Gwen and Finn see the ringing phone. Gwen answers, and it is Mom, saying she did great and she is proud. Gwen gets emotional, saying she misses her. Hope says she misses her too and is happy in the afterlife. Gwen asks if the curse will end, meaning the dreams. Hope explains it was never a curse but a gift to help others. She tells Gwen to say she loves Finn and that Robin says hi. Gwen tells Finn, bringing him huge joy. Finally, everyone heads home. So, that's the full story of Black Phone 2. I hope you loved this, one of the best interesting sequel movies. This year I think it is one of the most interesting and hyped horror movies, a true sequel year. I noticed tons of sequels dropping, and this one is top tier. The most interesting part is that Black Phone 3 is in production. Yes, the grabber's game is not over. What blew your mind the most about Black Phone 2, that emotional final call from Hope, when finally owning her powers, or the grabber getting iced for good? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on that notification bell for more movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching.